Helldivers 2 is one of 2024's fastest growing games. Within 2 weeks it went over 200,000 concurrent players. So I'm going to go in and break down why Helldivers is such a fucking amazing game and rank it under one of these categories. Sit back, relax, let's get this started. So we're going to start this off with the story. So we are Helldivers from Super Air, which is right here. We are trying to defend our planet from terminids, which are like bugs, and automatons, which are like ass-eating terminators. So we're a band of super soldiers and we're jumping in here to die for democracy and improve our home planet. As part of the story, you get sent on a variety of missions. So this one here, I have to destroy eggs. And this one, we've visited another planet to launch a nuke. Oh shit, why does this game have better nukes than Fallout? Fallout is a game based on nukes. Like, come on. You get a lot of side objectives, so like this one here, I've just blew up one of the automaton outposts, which basically builds the robots. The story itself is basically telling you that you're controlled by your government. It leaves a lot up to the imagination, but the mission variety, I think there's 40 different types of missions across all the difficulties, but for the story of Helldivers, I need to give it a 7. It's pretty solid and it hooks you right into the game, and there's just such good mission variety. Okay, so moving on to the game's graphics. So the graphics in this game are fucking beautiful, man. It feels like you're getting eye-fucked by God himself. So when I'm talking about graphics, I'm talking about how well they fit the game. The graphics in this game fucking capture the atmosphere so perfectly. You can go from amazing lighting to fucking intense, dark, foggy maps. Everything fits together so well. Nothing looks out of place. It's just amazing graphics. Solid 10, easy. Moving on, next up we have gameplay. Gameplay has got to be the most important category for video games. You can have a shit story and amazing gameplay and people will fucking remember it. Helldivers 2 does not fall short in this category at all, man. Helldivers 2 has one of the best, most intense adrenaline rush gameplays ever. The shooting in this game feels amazing. The enemy variety, which I'm showing here, is fucking sick, man. It's just, there's a lot of enemy types. You can approach all of them differently. You need to think, but you can also just run about like a fucking idiot at the same time and get away with it. It just makes the game feel so fun. You can swap from first person to third person and both of them feel great, which is rare. Normally one of them feels like shit. Throwing grenades, calling stratagems, diving, sneaking, all of it just feels great. Gameplay, solid 10. Okay, so we're going into strategies, which is Helldivers' main category. So at the time of this video, there is 40 different armour sets, 26 different primary weapons, and 48 stratagems. Also with the stratagems, you can upgrade ship modules and you can kind of focus on a build. So my build currently is orbital cannons. One of my mates is doing sentry guns, and another one is doing the eagle jets. There's even varieties and perks. It also allows you to like itemise for certain levels, so if you know this weapon's not that effective against automatons, then you can change the weapon right before you jump into the mission. Having all this in the game allows for a lot of different playstyles. If you want to blow shit up, you can do that. You can sit and take all explosive weapons, call in missiles, airstrikes, nukes, and blow up your mates. That type of thing, that's cool. If you want a fucking stealthy playstyle, you can do that as well. If you want a more defensive playstyle where you sit behind turrets and fucking blast them with long range weapons, you can do that too. Most of the weapons feel really nice in this game. Like if there's a meta, they tend to balance it because they don't really want meta, they want all playstyles to fit. I feel like some guns feel a bit weak. They're currently adding more shit to the game, like mech suits, things like that. But in the game's current state, I'm going to give it a 9. Okay, so we're going to talk about difficulty. The difficulty of Helldivers 2 has been one of the most debated things I've seen for whatever reason. People seem to think you can just go in and solo the hardest difficulty, and if you can't do that, the game ain't balanced. There's currently 9 difficulties in Helldivers. These basically range from stepping in the octagon with Stevie Wonder to a steroid-fueled Bam Bam Bigelow is coming to ass fuck you for 30 minutes. The game is exactly as balanced as the difficulty you choose. If you're going to sit there and try and solo hard difficulties in a game that's designed for 4 people, you're a dumb fuck for thinking the game's imbalanced if you can't do it. There is 9 difficulties. 9. How many games have 9 difficulties? Not many. So I'm playing on extreme difficulty here, which is level 6. With a team of 4. I don't think I died once in this level. I'm doing this one solo on challenging difficulty and it's pretty manageable. So the difficulties are really balanced, to be fair. If you're going to go into the harder difficulties, challenging is kind of the highest one I can do solo. You could probably do hard. If you're going to go into the difficulties above hard, take a team. What better number to rank difficulty than number 9? We cannot rank this game without mentioning the fucking soundtrack. The soundtrack in this game is insane. Every time you drop in, you get to listen to this music, which is fucking fire. I don't know about you guys, but that song makes me want to yeet myself out a fucking plane. Even the combat music, straight fire. Would I like a couple more heroic as fuck songs? Sure, why not? But the ones that are currently in the game are fucking great. Giving it a 7 out of 10. Okay, so next up we're going to be talking about the achievement or reward you get from playing the game. Helldivers has a pretty nice system. Even if you complete the mission, but you die and you don't make it to the extract, you'll still complete the mission. You just might lose some rewards for not escaping. Overall, I think Helldivers has a really nice progression system. So in Helldivers, you get these different war bonds. This is basically what you spend your upgrades on. Each war bond comes with different armour sets, a premium currency, and different weapons you can buy. You also get these major orders and personal orders, which give you some reward as well. So it really feels like everyone playing the game is part of like a team. You can just drop in and help people. It's one of these few games that has every player working together, which is just quite unique. Normally these games add like fucking PvP or some shit and it ruins it, because then it's like, why are we killing each other? Most people don't want PvP in this game, which is a fucking first time for that, because everybody's like, okay, we're all a team, we're all working, we're all doing the same kind of things. So at the right side you can see this major order here, and it says liberate all automaton held planets. So that's just fucking wipe out the automatons basically, and there's so many people working together to do that now that everyone participating ends up with a reward. I think it's quite sick. I love when it encourages people working together. I would like to see a little bit more individual titles or like individual items titles, things like that, just to show that you've been helping. So I'm going to give achievement an 8. Okay, now we're moving into level design, which is huge for this game. As part of the graphics, the level design is fucking amazing. There's around 250 planets in this game, and they're unique enough that you can tell when you're on a different planet. For this video, I went on 4 different planets. Look how different each one looks. There is 250 planets in this game. This is 4 of them. This one is icy, snowy, filled with lakes. Whereas this one has fucking fire tornadoes, the sky is red and it looks like I'm in hell. Most of these planets are really unique, like they've got their own terrain, weather systems, environments. You can tell if you're on an automaton planet versus a terminid planet. Some of the weather conditions affect your character, so if you're in one that looks like hell, your character runs out of stamina faster, your heat weapons like laser rifles will overheat faster. I would like to see a little bit more weather conditions like extreme storms, flooding, proper desert storms, like you can't see shit in the sand. As it is right now, it's still fucking insane. So I'm going to give it an 8. Okay, moving on to enjoyment. This is also one of the few games that doesn't encourage friendly fire, but it allows it. See, it's just a bit of banter. Seriously, the game is really fun. It's really well done for co-op. You can just play it with randoms, like I said, so you don't need to be worried about playing it with your friends or whatever. I just prefer playing it with my friends. There is so many worse games to play and spend your time on that just piss you off, fuck you over, because Riot Games is a shit co- Finally, we're moving on to replayability. At the time of me making this video, there's currently 250,000 players on the game. Due to the variation in missions, enemies, playstyles, it's got really good replayability. This is a game you could just sit and sink hours into. And it's just a laugh, man. It's just good to play it with your mates. Even if you don't have pals to play it with, you can play it solo and it's manageable. I just feel like this is, if you're looking for a kind of game to play that's just chill and just enjoyable, man, then dive on fucking Helldivers and join in. Replayability, I need to give it a 9 out of 10. It's addictive, it's fun, it's rewarding, I can't fault it. Alright, so 84 is our total score for Helldivers 2. One more point, it would have been put in the S tier bracket. I think it's quite deserving of this, to be honest. So, story being the lowest. The reason story was a 7 in the first place is because there's so much mission variety. But the story itself is just, it's too weak, you know? It's just weak. Soundtrack's also getting a 7 because there just isn't enough different songs in the game. If there was more songs and they all live up to the same standard as the few that are in the game, it would have been ranked higher. Great game, seriously recommend it. So now that we're done with Helldivers, which is a game I love, if you guys want to see me roast a game I fucking hated, then click here.